You know, in many parts of the country, we still have to understand there is another epidemic still going on, and that is opioids. It has not gone anywhere. It is still happening, and people are still dying every single day of drug overdoses. Nothing has changed. So it's kind of pushed in the background with everything else going on. So things are about to get worse as far as drug addiction is concerned. This is NPR, June 15th, 2020. A new addiction crisis. Treatment centers face financial collapse. Wow. Fewer patients in recent months have been showing up for drug and alcohol treatment at Reach Health Services in Baltimore, but Dr. Olson, the medical director there, suspects it's not for a good reason. Some have likely relapse or delayed drug and alcohol addiction treatment, while others likely fear infection and have stayed home. Prior to the pandemic, Reach, a program for outpatient treatment for substance use disorder, saw about 15 new patients a week. Since quarantine began, that's been down to about five patients a week. That's it. Moreover, social distancing requirements have meant the clinic has been seeing fewer people at a time. For Olson, this isn't just a medical worry, it's a business problem. Less money is coming in, while investments in technology for teletherapy and safety protective gear have added new costs. In the past, Olson said the program hasn't had a budget for facing shields or gowns or face masks because those things that typically we have not really had to ever use. Olson, who is also vice president of the American Society of Addiction Medicine, says many providers are in the same boat. Some treatment centers that accept Medicaid patients and those covered by the Children's Health Insurance Program may be eligible for a $15 billion in emergency relief. Still, it's not yet clear how many providers will benefit. We are at risk for not having the funding that we need to keep our doors open, Olson says. Consumption of drug and alcohol has also increased in the US during the pandemic, creating an anticipated need for treatment in coming months and years. But at the same time, there are now a host of financial challenges that threaten the existence of most addiction treatment centers in the country. In April, the National Council for Behavioral Health survey its 3,400 members, of whom are nonprofit community treatment centers. Nearly all, 92.6% of both residential and outpatient centers, had cut back their programs, forcing many to furlough employees or lay them off. A month into the pandemic, two-thirds of those centers said they had enough cash to last 3 months or less. Unfortunately, it's a self-perpetuating cycle. You have fewer staff or fewer programs, which means you can treat fewer people, which then has long-term impact on your revenue. So they have requested $38.5 billion in emergency funding for drug treatment from Congress, so far unsuccessfully. In addition, he says a new plunging economy also threatens future public funding that many community treatment providers rely on. Our members are feeling an awful lot of anxiety right now. It's just from the current hardships, but the future as states confront dramatic budget cuts. That's going to have implications for treatment capacity down the road. So programs have to adapt to survive, mostly by relying on teletherapy. The way we deliver treatment is likely to be changed after the epidemic. Prior to the pandemic, neither practitioners nor patients considered telemedicine an adequate substitute for in person care. Now, everyone uses it, and that is a game changer. Recent months provided teletherapy is also a cheaper and more efficient way to deliver care, in part because there are fewer no shows for appointments. There are also other benefits. For some people, remote therapy can feel more discreet. When you can do this via telehealth, including use of a phone, you can take away the stigma. I don't know. I just don't know how being on the phone with an addict, you really know what's really truly going on. Many of them aren't going to tell you the truth if they're high. State and federal regulators loosened privacy and other restrictions on telehealth during the pandemic emergency, among other things, that made it easier for doctors to prescribe medication, such as, okay, so treatment for opioid addiction, and we know methadone is one of those treatments. Now, many addiction centers are banking on those changes becoming permanent. The use of telehealth is something that I hope is here to stay. I certainly will be talking about it because this method of treatment is likely to play a key role in helping people in treatment centers weather the difficult times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like since these addicts are not able to get to a treatment center or even stay in one these days, less and less of them are even interested in showing up for treatment. So I don't know what they're going to do about this. I can just see probably already many people have relapsed, and these treatment centers are never going to see them again. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Wow. You just don't think of these things until you see it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.